Hello. Hi, everyone. It is Thursday again. Well, it is not only Thursday, it is Thanksgiving Thursday here on another episode of the Question Live Show with yours truly, more Verona Willis-Brown. Yeah, see right there. Verona Willis-Brown is here again, and we are closing out February. Yes. Can you believe it? February came, February left, February is like bye bye. And that is a good thing for me. Maybe it's for you as well. Why would I say that? Because I am getting closer into springtime. Because you can see, I am bringing in the spring today. It is going to be springtime. Simply mean it's going to be warmer. And then when it's warmer, it's going to go to summer. And summer is my favorite season. If you didn't know, no, you know that summer is my favorite season. So we're getting closer. So we're going to say bye-bye to February in the next 5 days. So today is our last show for February. Yes. So welcome to this episode of the Question Live Show. Now we have a few things we can go over. We can go over the topic first, but we are not going to talk about the topic as of yet. I just like to welcome you. I like to welcome you in. I like to welcome you to this special episode. Well, all episodes are special because you're there. Once you show up, I show up, we show up together. That is the whole point. So I like to say, if you have a book, if you have a story, if you have work, if you're work in progress, bring it on in here so we can work together, build together, grow together. But most of all, support each other. Because that's what we do. For us to succeed, we need support. And support is not you by yourself. Support is us working together to replenish the earth. So we are going to do that. So as I say, welcome one and all. Now you know what is happening here. If this is your first time tuning into this show, yes, if this is your first time, I need to know that it is your first time. So type in the comment section right there. Right there. Type in the comment section that it is your first time and where you're tuning in from so we can welcome you with excitement. Because first timers, they do get special welcome. Absolutely. Yes, they do. Now, if this is not your first time, you know what we do here. We have rules and regulations and whatever else you want to call them. That's just little house rule. What are they? 1, 2, 3 and a half, maybe 4 rules. Absolutely. So if you've been here before, if you watch the replay on any episode, you know what they are. Well, are they in particular order? Maybe not. So welcome back for those who've been here. Now, house rule, we have Sharon, welcome back to another episode of the Question Live Show. Now, what are the rules? Rule 1, if you are looking at me, listening to me right now, and you are seeing right there, in the corner, up there in that little rectangle, it says live. If you are looking right now and you see live, simply mean you. Yes, you. Sharon, yes, you, Theta, is in the live audience. Now, what do we do when we are in the live audience? We look again right on the bottom there for the share button. Now, when you see that share button, you are going to press it and you are going to share it so you can invite others to come on into the live session. See, live is like serving a fresh meal just coming out of the oven or off the stove. And what better way to eat a fresh meal? Right there. But sometimes, leftovers taste good. So if you're not watching this and you're not seeing that live, simply means you are having leftovers. That's called replay. Hashtag replay. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is to get yourself something to write with, whether it is a pencil, pen, crayon, markers, even a feather, whatever is it that you write with, get it. And then when you get that, you get yourself a notebook or a piece of paper, maybe even your hand middle, the back of your hand, not recommended, but hey. A sticky pad, something to write with. Why would I say that? Because here we drop juicy contents and golden nuggets, and I would like for you to write them down. I encourage everyone to write things down. When you write things down, they become more real to you. Absolutely more real to you. And while they are real to you, it will expand your thought process. Because everything that's in your mind, they're just thoughts running like a racetrack in your mind. But when you expound those thoughts out of your head and you write them down, hey, maybe you write in a book. Thought is in your thought. Get it out of your head. Now, if you don't have any of those writing tools, guess what you are going to use? Your devices. Yes, every one of you watching this right now, you have a device. Whether it is your laptop, your iPad, your cell phone, whatever it is you're using, inside of it, there's a section called Notepad section. Right in there. And if you don't have that in your device, no, you text. You see this? You text. Text yourself something. What is the something? Maybe it's a nugget. Write it, text it to yourself, and call it a day. Yes. Now, what is number 3? Number 3 is grab yourself something to drink. Yes. See mine right here? That's right. Grab yourself something to drink, whether it is water, tea, juice, or wine. Whatever is it that you drink, it is very important that you hydrate yourself, 1, and you drink on my behalf, 2. You see, I usually have water. Why do I come with water? 1, water is important, and water is very important. You know, you should have clear water. It detoxes the system. But you see, I believe in miracle. And I believe when I come with my water, the best miracle worker is Jesus. And when he turned water into wine, Lord knows, I sit every single Thursday and I wait for my water to turn into wine. So if you've been here, you probably know that somehow my water turned into wine some Thursday ago, whatever Thursday that is. So you know, I do that. But today I am not having my water. I am having, can you see? My straw is matching my drink in my fancy glass. Yes, my fancy glass. I am having my lovely drink, my natural drink. Whatever is it that you are drinking, please type it in the comment section. Let me know what you are drinking. Because here I am drinking, I blend up ginger and pineapple and cucumbers. Yes, and that is my drink for tonight. Whatever you're drinking, drop it in there. Let me know what is it that you're drinking so we can cheers together. Now, why is it not on? Okay. So with that said, and you have your drink and you're ready. Now, if you are ready, before you say that you are ready, now, if you need to go use the bathroom, whether your bathroom is to the right or whether your bathroom is to the left, please go now. Go use the bathroom and then you're going to come back. Your seat going to be reserved and we are going to hold your seat for you. See, your seat will be reserved because it is the same thing in life. Your seat in life is reserved with your name on it. No one can take your seat. No one can take your seat in life unless you choose to hand it over to them. And why would you want to do that? No, you should not hand over your seat because your seat is your destiny. Your seat is your birthright and you must hold on to your seat. Do not give your seat away. Exactly. Do not give your seat away. So now if you don't need to say bathroom. That's fine. Now, if you don't need to use the bathroom and you're ready for tonight's show, please go in the comment section and type in that you are ready. So if you are ready, then hey, we are ready as we wait for those who are in the bathroom to come back. So go ahead, type in if you're ready. And while you're doing that, I'll take a sip of my lovely drink. I'll take a sip right there. Peter is drinking pure water. Yes, pure water is good. But like I said, Jesus turned water into wine. So I don't know what will happen to your water, whether you're drinking it from a bottle, a cup, or whatever container you're drinking it from. I don't know. But whatever you're drinking, hey. So if you're ready, we are going to roll into tonight's episode. Let's roll. Now, what are we talking about tonight? Let's see. What are we talking about? Tonight we are going to be talking about humane. So that might sound kind of tongue-tied. Humane. You know, it might sound a little tongue-tied, but it's not really tongue-tied. You see the word human. The word human. Then we have humane. But the word that I want to get to tonight is humility. For us to have humility, to be humble, it derived from the word humane and human. The first one is human. Let's talk about human. Okay, the first word, human. What does it mean to be a human being? We were created as human beings. We were created in the form, the image of God as human beings. Why? Not because God just like, hey, let me just create something. No, God created just about every single thing. Yes. But when he created us as human beings, he wanted someone to identify us. He wanted someone to see us, to acknowledge us, to welcome us, just as I welcome you all here today. He created us as human beings so we can be present, so we can take notes, as I suggested. He wanted us to fulfill our purpose. What is our purpose? See, my purpose must be different from your purpose. And that's what will make us beautiful human beings. What is your purpose? If you have not discovered what your purpose is, and your purpose don't have to be one or two, it could be a lot. But you have the responsibility to search for it, to seek out what is your purpose that was created, that was forming you as a human being. Because every last one of us as human beings have something to do. Every last one of us. And because we have something to do, we must seek to know what it is. We must seek to know why we are human beings. You see, we have the responsibility to love each other, to live in peace. Have you ever stopped and looked at the other creatures out there? Because I want to compare human beings to ants. And I want to make another comparison to human being as trees. So I'm going to only use two items where we as human beings are similar to. Well, I'm not going to make a comparison. Well, the analogy. As human beings, we should see ourselves as ants, little tiny wincy ants, or as trees. Why would I say ants? When ants is the tiniest thing, the tiniest creature on this earth that was created by God. All little tiny ants running, If you're familiar with ants, you see that they have different colors, different species. Oh my goodness, I think they overtake the entire world with the amount of species of ants. Now, why would I place human being in that format? Why would I say human beings like that? Because ants are humble. Have you ever witnessed ants fighting each other? Have you ever witnessed ants sitting there bickering? Have you ever sit there and watch ants just like jumping on each other? They're not living in peace. Ants were created with intention to live peaceful. And so were we. We as humans were created to be peaceful beings, not to go back and forth, but share with each other. A species of ants, you see, they work together. They support each other. They go in line. They focus. They pay attention to the destination that they're going. They support and share. Why human beings having this hard? Why is it that they're having it so hard to follow ants? We look at ants, we might just step on them. Ding! Thou shalt not kill, because then we just kill the ants. The same ants that's supposed to be teaching us a lesson of how to be humble. How to be humble. Walk and work in humility. When we are talking about humility, we are talking about the thought process of how you think about the next person, of how you welcome the next person in your space before they even get into your space. The very thought that you think towards someone, it can define how humble you are. Absolutely. Because it is a humane thing. What is a humane thing? A humane thing is just the word human. And if you notice, the letter E is at that end. What does that E stand for? Everyone. Absolutely. E right there, it just attached right there to say everyone, treat everyone fairly. Treat them without judging them before their time. Sometimes we just judge people before their time. We judge ourselves before the time. We want to manifest something, but yet we judge it. Human. Let us learn to rearrange our thoughts and shuffle our mind and think what it is that we were created to do. For us to love each other, we have to be humble. For us to live in peace, we have to be humble. No matter which way we go, no matter what language we speak, it is about being humble. No matter what position we try to reach, it's about being humble. Because we could go up in a position, yet there's no humility. So our mind will bring us back down. Our mind will put us in a poverty mindset. Our mind will put us in a selfish mindset. Our mind will put us into the place where no peace. No peace at all. We don't want to live like that. That is not the purpose of human beings. That is not the purpose of us human beings. We as human beings got to come to realization that we were created to produce something, to replenish the earth. And that takes me to the other word. We should see ourselves as a tree. As a tree. For a moment, you can just stop and think I think everyone right now, whether you're watching me on live or whether you will watch me on replay, everyone know what a tree is, unless you didn't born yet. Unless you're in your mother's womb listening to this or watching this from your mother's womb. Everyone know what a tree is. A tree is planted into our ground. And that is the same mindset we should have, that we are planted in the ground. Now, when the tree is planted, the tree didn't just plant a big tree, just plant in the ground. It started somewhere. Maybe a little bit of plant stuck in a fertile ground. And what happened? You water that. We as human beings need to be watered. From our mind, we need to be watered. We need to adjust our mind into a place of peace and humility. We need to water our mind with clear water. I think it's Theta that says she's drinking pure water. How are our thoughts towards ourselves and our fellow men? That's water in your thoughts. Pure mind, clean hands. Pure mind, the thought that you rumbling inside of your head every single time, every waking moment. What are those thoughts? How are those thoughts working themselves out? How are you managing your thought process? You get up this morning, or maybe it's night for you, whatever time it is that you're watching this. You did get up. And maybe you're laying yourself back down. Maybe you're laying back down. Maybe you're going back to sleep. Maybe you're busy going to work. Whatever time of the day that you are watching this, somehow you did rise up. Like the tree rise. It started growing. It started growing. Bark is on the tree, and the bark gets firmer because now it's building up muscles. See, we have to learn how to build up muscles, strong muscle, and that tree bear and go up and it builds up muscle. Then it starts branching out. Little branches start going here and there. Have you ever seen a tree that just don't have one branch that's just going one way? It branches out in different directions. And that is the same message we as human beings supposed to present to the world every waking moment. Branch out. Branch to the right, branch to the left, front, backwards, branch out. Simply mean when you branch out, you're thinking globally. You're thinking internationally. You're thinking outside of yourself. Oftentimes we hear, think outside of the box. If you come a little bit closer, I'll tell you. Just come a little bit closer and I'll tell you about the box. There is no box. None. There is no box for you to think outside of. There's no limit to you. There's no limit of what you can do. So there's no box. So it's for you to operate from your mind and your heart and operate outside, expand like the branches on the tree, going in different direction, depositing something positive on someone every day. Every single day is an opportunity for you to deposit something. Every day. Every single day, you have the opportunity. We have the opportunity to help someone else to make this branch go this way The branch is going that way. Because what happened when we do that? Each branch that you put out might just bear some fruits. Absolutely. It might just bear some fruits. And when it bear fruits, hey, you never know when it's a season. You never know when it's a season that branch is going to be. You see that branch going, the leaves forming on there. Then you see a fruit. But you never know when the fruit will come on that branch. The branch is holding up the leaves and the fruit, potential fruit. You are the branch. What is it that you are putting out? What is it that you are depositing? What is it that you are sharing? How humble are you in doing either one of those? The branch sit there and the branch stretched a little bit more. And that is us as human beings. We got to stretch, not stress, but stretch our potential. Stretch our gifts and our talents. Stretch our expectation of ourselves on others. Higher level. But remain humble. Remain humble. We oftentimes see people achieve things, and oh, we've been achieving these things and we know how to do this and da 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 da. It is not the amount of things that we achieve. Because we could be achieving things since we were born. You know, you heard the saying, you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth or a gold spoon in your mouth. I don't know. Gold spoon, silver spoon, whatever spoon. So it's not the amount of things that we achieve or accomplish that cause us to be humble. Where does humility come from? Humility stems from your heart. It stems from our heart because we can accommodate and we can accomplish and we can do all those things. But inside of our heart, we stand with no humility because we're not thinking of everyone. We're not thinking of everyone. We're thinking, oh, I did this, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, I did. And you start counting all the things and you start counting, oh, since I was 4, since I was 14, since I was 20, since I was this, I've been working this and I've been doing that. And you've been doing all these things and you said, oh, since I was 14 years old, I've been doing this on my own. But have you been impacting others positively? Be humble. No matter what you do, be humble. No matter where you go, be humble. It's respect. See, my parents told me this a while back. No matter where you go in life, no matter what you think you will achieve in life, have respect. Have manners. Have respect first for yourself. And then you have respect for the space that you're in, for those who will come into your space. It's not the amount of degrees, it's not the amount of materialistic things that you accomplish. It's the heart space. Because when you have a heart space of humility, you'll get to serve others with humility. You get to lift up humanity. You get to service. You get to replenish the earth. Lifting up humanity, that's the other word, humanity. See, humane, human, humility, humanity. How can we lift up humanity when we are not humble? How can we lift up humanity when we are not even thinking outside of ourselves? You're waiting to accomplish something. You're thinking that when you accomplish something, you got it. Like, yes. I am not telling you not to celebrate when you accomplish something. You should celebrate even the small things. But think of others. Think of those who are still striving, those who are still trying to hold their head up. I'll tell you a story. I remember buying a lot of shoes. I love shoes. I love shoes. And I used to buy a lot of shoes. Well, let's just say I had an addiction to shoes. What is it that you're addicted to? You can say what you're addicted to. Type in the comment section so I won't feel like I am the only one with an addiction. Type in the comment section so we can work this out together. We are a family here. We can work this out together. So type in the comment section right there. Yep, right there. Type in there, what is your addiction or what was your addiction? You see, and I'm going to be right here on this show to say, yes, I did have an addiction to shoes. I used to buy shoes probably every single day. I was buying a pair, maybe 1, 2, 3 pairs of shoes every day. So I bought these shoes and my shoe was just piling up and piling up and piling up and piling up as I go along. Why was my shoes piling up? They were piling up because I love them. I love to have them. I love to have shoes. And I remember one day, as my shoes stacked up in their little shoe boxes, I used to buy the shoe boxes, the clear shoe boxes. If I take them out of my shoe box, the shoe box I bought in the store, I will buy the little clear shoe box. Do you remember those clear shoe boxes? Join the club. Join the club. Do you remember those little clear shoe boxes? They used to be like this big, clear shoe boxes. So I would put my shoes in those boxes when I didn't want to see the regular box. And I would stock them up, piled up, shoes. I mean, I am not a tall person. And then I realized the more we're stocking the shoes, it's like the shoe was kind of like growing with my height. If you understand what I'm saying, please put in the comment section that you understand what I'm saying. The height of the boxes that I was stocking up on the wall, it seemed like it was matching my height. It seemed like it was trying to grow with me. Well, I didn't see that as a problem. I didn't see that as an addiction then. But as it got taller, it was getting higher. I think I stopped growing and then it was getting higher. And the shoe boxes kind of like reached almost my waist. And I kept buying shoes. And my mother said to me one day, "How many feet do you have?" Let that question sink in. How many feet do you have? That was my mother's question. How many feet do you have? And it took me a while to, I mean, it's obvious that I have 2 feet. It is obvious that I have 2 feet. And I told her, I do have 2 feet. I told her that. Mom, I have 2 feet. Well, she said, no, if you got 2 feet, why you have all those shoes? How many of those shoes can you wear? Mother. I was trying to tell my mother, I was trying to be very respectful to her. I could wear all of them. But then that was not true because I could not wear all of them and I didn't wear all of them. But I love shoes. And I didn't know it was a problem then. I didn't know it was a problem. And I'm going to tell you, we got to come to a point where we know something is a problem and we got to address the problem. Because I'm going to take you back of how humility is coming into this story. Because I'm not telling you the story because I want to tell you that I love shoes. I am not telling you the story because I had an addiction to shoes. I am not telling you the story to impress you that, hey, shoes is my thing. I am not trying to tell you the story for you to tell me that you like shoes either. I am telling you the story to get to the point of humility. I love shoes. And I still didn't saw anything with the shoes growing with me as a problem. But the problem came when there was a store that opened. The biggest shoe store, I believe it is. I won't even mention the name. If you love shoes, then you know what is the biggest shoe store. And I start going to the store. And I say, yes, perfect. Mwah! A shoe store only for shoes. I don't have to think about going into this store and think about buying clothes and shoes. I am going to stay focused only on one thing, and that is my shoes. So this biggest shoe store came in, and Verona was trying to go on in there and just add on some more to the pile of shoes that she had. But as I got to the door of that shoe store, and I look, and I smile, and my grin was so broad of all the shoes that I could possibly buy. All the shoes that I could swing my nice little bag and go on home and keep on piling them up. My heart started to race. My mind started to race, my heart racing, my hands sweating, my thoughts going on an Olympics track and field, my eyes blinking real fast. And I'm standing there. And I could not enter the store because now I was having an anxiety attack looking at the amount of shoes in this store. Looking at the amount of shoes that I could still pile up in my house. And I could not purchase not one of them. I had to humble myself. I had to stop and humble myself, knowing that how many feet do I have? Only 2. How many shoes can I wear in one day? 2. I had to think, when you are humble, you think of someone else who don't have. And my mother taught me that. From that one question she asked, how many feet do I have? When you're humble, you think of others. You think of someone else who don't have. You think of someone else when you are piling up, like my shoes, piling up to my height. But yet, someone outside walking barefoot. Think of my shoes piling up, trying to grow with me, yet someone only had one pair. I had to think. I had to humble myself. I had to start living humility. Someone didn't have money to buy one pair of shoes. Someone didn't have money to even send their child to school. But yet, there I was, buying shoes every day. And when my mother said, You're not even wearing them. What I did, the moment I was buying shoes to prove to my mother that I was wearing them, I would go to the store and I would wear the shoes home. Yes, I would wear the shoes home to prove to my mother that I was wearing the shoes. So each one I would buy, I would wear it home from the store and put my old shoe in the box, not knowing I have to be humble. But I learned. I learned. I learned. And we have to learn what this means when we are living in humility. We got to learn what it is to be humble. We got to learn what it is when we are thinking what humility means, what to be human means. We got to be thinking. Your story might not be about shoes. Your story might be something else. Your story and my story might be just different, or it might be the same. Whatever your story is, no matter how your story starts or how it ended, humility must come somewhere in between there. Humility must be formed in the middle of the beginning of your story and the ending of your story. Because then you will know how humane it is to be a human being. How humane it is to serve others, to show up and serve others. My shoes piled up for years. Many of them I didn't wear more than once. Some of them I didn't even wear. Do I still have a shoe attic? No. Because I had to bring myself into a place of thinking someone don't have. I have to bring myself down into a point where I come. I didn't lower my standard, but I had to think for a second of another human being. It's called being humble. Be humble. You're not lowering your standard. You're just being humble. Take your time and be humble. No matter how much of anything you have, just be humble. Be humble is respecting the other person who don't even have, or who don't even know how to use what they even have, or what they desire. The common desire that someone have, it will affect them as well as you. I desire to have a lot of shoes. Yet someone desires just to have one pair of shoes. One. How will you serve? How will you serve someone if you're not humble? When you're humble, you're understanding someone else's situation. When you're humble, you're understanding the circumstances that are around you. You're understanding even your common community. You're understanding. You're making time to see what is around you, away from you, away from what you accommodate, away from what is in your space. You're making time. And when you make time, you attract that which you so desire. When you make time, you attract even more of what you so desire. You empty out yourself. You want to attract humility. You want to stay humble so you can attract humble people. You want to stay humble so you can attract just the pure in mind and clean hands pure heart people. Sometimes you think that you're attracted to something, but no. Your very eyes will fool you because you want to fulfill a spot that is empty. When we want to fill that spot in, our eyes will attract us and it will fool us. You know, there's a saying that says, not everything that glitters is gold. We want to know what is the next step and how we can move ourselves out of this place of having so much for ourselves. We want to move out of that space. We want to create that next level of getting rid of the things, the amount of things that we have when someone don't have. Someone is sitting there that don't have. We want to think, how can we serve someone? So we want to come out of that space. How many of you right now can go inside of your house and just survey your entire house and the amount of things that you have inside of your house that you're not using, that someone needs? Right now, someone needs something that you have excess amount in your house with. If I go back to my shoe story, those shoes piled up and piled up until I had to give them all away. I gave them away and I kept 2 pairs of shoes. And I tried to train myself to see if I can only work with 2 pairs of shoes. I'm here in the winter time, so I need 1 winter shoe and 1 summer shoe. Well, 3 are summer sandals and a shoe. Shoe to go to work, sandals for the day, and my winter boots. The rest, I gave them away. Now, when you're giving something away, you won't feel bad. You won't feel bad when you're giving it away from a pure heart. You won't feel bad. You won't feel like you just got depleted. You won't feel like there's an empty space that you got to go back and buy 2 more pairs of shoes to just fill up that void, that fill up that space that you just gave away 10. You gave away 10 pairs and, oh, I need to go buy 20 pairs more. No. Let that space stay right there. Survey yourself right now. Ask yourself, what is the excess amount of things that you have that you want to clear this space and give it away? Love is something that we can give away. Do you have excess amount of love? Do you have excess amount of materialistic things in your house? You see, I learned this as I gave my shoes away and as I grow into being this person that's talking to you right now, because I evolve. And I became more humble. I started out as in a humble environment. My parents were humble beings. They were humble human beings. But somehow I figured that excess amount will do it. My parents were humble human beings. So I came from a humble beginning. Why would I not continue that? Why would I want to evolve? Why would I want to evolve and gather things and drop what I started? Drop how I started. Drop how my parents started. You see, there's something about your baseline. Many of you might know I came from a farmer's background. So I know what it is to have a baseline. I know what it is to have sturdy foundation. I know what it is to have ground that's fertile. I know all of that. But when you grow up, you must grow up with the same mindset. Grow up with the same mindset. If you started out humble, remain humble until you go to your grave. Remain humble until you go to your grave. Think about it. How many of us started out humble, started from nowhere, and we got to a point where we got a little bit more, and our thought just gone somewhere else and forget the very start that we had was very humble. I would like to encourage you for a couple of things. Take this moment, or after this, just take a moment and search yourself, your thought. Search your thought. Go into your thoughts and see how much stuff going in your thoughts. Expel some things. Declutter some things. Because when you have too many things rolling and you're not humble, you start thinking about the things that you did for somebody else, the things that you gave somebody. You start thinking about these things. But what you gave somebody is not you. It is your human nature to give somebody, to serve somebody. Because when you're giving, you're sharing, you're serving. So that's one. Just think about if you want to do this now or when you want to do this after this episode is paused and finished. Stop for a second and think of all the things that is in your mind, in your heart, and see if they belong there. See what is it that you can take out. Take out, and see what can remain. What lies inside of your heart? Resentment, anger, hatred, jealousy, covetousness, all of that, and etc. All the necessary, unnecessary things. Go inside and just take out, expel them out of your mind and your heart. And that is your inside. And when you do that, you see that things are better for you. But while you're doing that, take another step. Move to another step. Look at your surrounding, your literal surrounding. Yes. Whether you live in a house, an apartment, down the road, up the road, wherever you live, whatever you call your home, wherever you call your home, it's time to declutter. It's time to declutter. Declutter your space. The excess amount of things that is in your space, while someone don't have, it is not a good look of humility. Declutter your space. Start in a corner. Look, survey your corner. Why is it that you have so many of that? What are you doing? What is the purpose of you having so many shoes, so many bags, so many clothes, so many jewelry? Why do you have so many of that? What is the purpose of having so many of one thing? I always hear the saying, too much of one thing is not good for you. If you believe that is true, and if you have heard that saying, you can type it in there as well. if that resonates with you. So much of one thing is not good for you. And while it's not good for you, why would you walk around with something that is not good for you? Why would you keep on entertaining something that is not good for you? If you have excess amount this time, it will be a good sign of humility when you start getting rid of them, sharing them with somebody else. My dear viewers, life will teach us the ups and the downs. Life will teach us how to be humble from one situation to the other. My story might not be your story, and your story might not be my story. But every last one of us here have a story. What would be your story of humility? What will your story be when this session is over? What will be your story? Whatever your story is, just make sure humility is at the door. Whatever your story is, just remember, let humility be a tenant in your house. If you don't have no other tenant in your house, invite humility to be that one. No matter where you go in this life, no matter what you do, always know that humility will stand with you. Seek it. If you don't have that tenant yet, put out a search for that tenant and bring that tenant in. It's not about the money. Yes, when you hear tenant, you might think of money. But it's not about the money. It's about creating that space of peace of mind, space where your heart is free of resentment, anger, hatred. We as human beings, we are created to live humane. We are created to live in peace. We are created to live in love, to build prosperity. We are created to be successful. Let us let things go. Let us put out the things like I put out my shoes. Let us put out the things from inside of us that is not serving us well. Let us learn to just declutter ourselves, drop things off, and moving right along. See, they say tomorrow is not promised, and that is absolutely true. Tomorrow is not promised. How will you live today? That will define maybe if you get tomorrow. If God so be that you get tomorrow, will humility go with you? I hope so. Now, we're closing February. Let us remember that we will be going into a new month. As we roll into a new month, we have the potential to get into that new month. We have expectation to get into that new month. I encourage each and every one of you, Theodore, Speak Live, Sharon, those of you who are watching without putting your name, thank you for watching. I would like to just encourage you that as we roll into the days ahead or moments ahead, just remember, to be human, we got to be humane. To be humane, we must have humility. For us to have humility, we must have the intention from our heart and our mind to lift up humanity. Thank you so much for showing up here tonight. When you show up, you don't show up for yourself. You show up for your family. You're showing up for your community. You're showing up for generations to come. When I show up in the same manner with you. I show up humble every Thursday when I come here, I show up with humility. I don't take you for granted. I don't take none of you for granted. Because when I show up, I know what it is to be humble, to serve. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I want to thank you for showing up. Remember, humility, being humble, be humane is, yes, your tenant. Thank you so much for being here. Have yourself a great evening, morning, noon, or night. Whatever time you will watch this, have yourself not only morning, noon, or night, but a great life. Remember, to support each other, it takes more than one of us. It takes you and I to support each other. Support is us, not you alone. No one can succeed by themselves. Therefore, we will continue to support each other. As I show up, you show up. I say thank you, peace, and blessings be with you all. And I hope to see you next month as we start a whole new session. Have yourself a wonderful time.